Hi, I'm Ioana Popa, and by now you might have heard me already saying many times that I encourage you to renew and regenerate moment by moment on a daily basis and not really wait until weekend and vacation. But you might wonder, what does it mean really to regenerate in the now, to daily renew? It's easier said than done. And actually, regeneration and renewal practices do not have to take 2 hours or a full day. I mean, obviously, if you have the time, that is great, go for it. But sometimes you might only have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe just 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a breath. That's all you might have. And that actually can be enough. So I want to share with you two ways and two types of options that you might have to renew and regenerate moment by moment on the go without having to postpone this. So the first option has to do with choosing natural pockets of regeneration and renewal. In other words, you actively stop and pause and regenerate. And it can be as short as 10 seconds, a breath. This involves actually remembering to regenerate and renew, but I'll give you a few tips around that. But I'll give you some examples of what do I mean about regenerating and renewing on the go. Choose to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Obviously, if your work is at a 97th floor, that might be an issue. But for most of us, we're talking a few flights of stairs, and choosing to take the stairs can be, if possible, if your physical condition allows you to do that, it can be quite helpful. Choose to walk whenever you can. I don't know about you, but sometimes, years back, I was like, oh, I don't want to go into the basement, or I don't want to go to the bedroom. I'll make a mental list and just go once and pick up everything that I need. And now I'm thinking, no, anytime I remember and I would choose to go. That makes me make sure I take a lot of steps in my day. Choose to pause and take deep breaths. It's amazing how often we are not focusing on our breath and we are taking very shallow, superficial breaths. Just remembering to inhale deeply and enjoy life for just a few moments can be quite beneficial. Here are some other options. We can choose to see and notice the miracle of nature, the sun, the air, the clouds, the rain, plants and animals, people around us, noticing people, looking at their eyes and trying to make some eye contact. Now, this might be in person, but also on Zoom or Skype, whatever your work might be, or the way you're connecting with your family might be. We could choose to pause and read a sacred text or a quote. Nowadays, there's so many ways we can have small quotes that we can have access. There are programs that even send us quotes every day, or some people, if they have a secret text, they might hold it. I've even seen small little Bibles like this, you put it in your pocket and you can just read if you want to. We can choose, or you might even have those on your phone. We might even choose to sing or listen to an inspiring song or podcast. There's so many choices that we have available. We can choose to pause and say a short prayer or send gratitude. Or I mentioned earlier, but there's a miracle of just having human beings in this world and choosing to connect either in person, as I mentioned, virtually, or just think of them. And realizing there are about 7 billion people right in this moment. They're all breathing, all walking, thinking, doing things. What a miracle. They're all around us, even when we don't see them or feel them. So we can choose to connect with someone or the humanity at large, or even with the stars and the universe. And we can choose and pause to connect with our soul, right? Taking a deep breath, our true soul, our true self, our spirit. or to connect with God, our ultimate reality, the divine, however you experience universal consciousness. And my favorite personal one is to pause and connect with God through my breath. And I love it because there's a reason why one of the names of God is breath. And as long as we're alive, we breathe. And the breath has this beautiful function. On one hand, we do it so unconsciously, we don't have to think about it, it happens. And at the same time, we can really become aware of it. And there's just a beauty to take some more oxygen in and connect with the divine that way. So just wonder of being able to breathe, being able to be alive, connecting with the wonder of just being alive, like even right now. One more breath. And here are my words. One more breath. There's really no stress in this moment, most likely, although there's some exceptions. But here's another breath. Awareness of the sound. Here's another breath. I'm talking, you're listening or reading. What a wonder. Connecting in this virtual space. Here's another breath. And for this moment of choosing to pause, take a breath or just connect, as I mentioned earlier, in so many ways, the key is to remember, to remind ourselves to take this small step. It doesn't have to be long. And there's so many ways we can do this, simple way, set a reminder. I've seen people who set a reminder 3-4 times a day just to take a deep breath or do any of the activities that I mentioned before for a minute or two. I even know people who put a reminder every hour. Every hour, ting, they hear a little bit of bell on the phone. Just remind them to take a moment to go in and pause and breathe. Another way that I found, which I found so interesting, there is a way we can condition ourselves using a color. I don't know if you heard of this, but I thought, what a brilliant idea. There's something about conditioning that good Dr. Pavlov, who described conditionings, it's happening to all of us. We can link this sense of regeneration with, let's say, an interesting color that you really love, that you might have a chance to see, like blue, there's a sky, or green, or whatever, yellow, whatever your favorite color is. Eventually you will come across it. You can even put your desktop to that color to remind you. Another way to do this might be just choosing an activity. For example, anytime I open the door, I remember to take a deep breath. Or if I check my phone, I remember to take a deep breath. So there are many options. Just pick one, and the one that's your favorite that really resonates with you, and then link that choice to really take a pause to regenerate. And the second big way in which you can regenerate and renew that I want to bring up has to do with us stuck in certain situations that are considered inevitable. So I call them serendipitous moments of renewal. So for example, I'll give you some examples. Are you in line waiting for your turn to come in at the grocery store or whatever else? Instead of getting frustrated, we can choose the attitude. We can choose to take a breath and enjoy these waiting moments. So in other words, when the external circumstances do not allow us to move forward with our flow, although we cannot choose the externals, we can choose our attitude. So it's inevitable that we are stopped in our tracks. We're not choosing to stop. We are stopped by external reality. But in those moments of being stuck, we can choose, instead of getting frustrated, to just settle and really take a deep breath and enjoy these moments. Here's another common example, right? Being stuck in traffic. We can get frustrated. Some people get into road rage. That's a choice. Sometimes we're conditioned and it looks really hard. It's really hard to stop. But we can remember, hey, where I can actually take a deep breath and enjoy maybe the slow motion of the car or the multitude of stopped cars. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm trying to bring some options here and choices in moments when we feel we have none. Or maybe the computer is slow, or maybe we're waiting on the phone and we're on waiting for half an hour. That happens, right? We still have a choice instead of being impatient to say, oh, isn't that the universe is aligning so I can take a deep breath. So the list is endless. I'm just bringing those two possibilities. So I'm going to summarize this as I wrap up. Here are some choices for renewal moment by moment. If the external conditions allows you to stop, take a pause, breathe, and regenerate. And it can be as simple as one breath. It could be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you choose. And you can set it up however you want, have the reminders that I mentioned earlier. And the second big option, if you're stuck actually in a situation and you're paused because of things outside of your control, you can actually pause and enjoy the moment. I invite you to do that, to enjoy those serendipitous moments, suspend it in between, and take a pause and breathe and regenerate. Now, most likely it's not going to happen easily. You're going to forget. I forget all the time, but every moment is a new moment. There's a chance to renew and regenerate. So this is another choice. Instead of beating ourselves up for not taking advantage of those moments, that we always start fresh. Here's another moment. We can take a deep breath right now and enjoy and renew. And may you have a wonderful regenerating and renewal time. And may we all connect through our breath in this world as we go moment by moment. And until next time, I wish you a wonderful day. And thank you for being here.